if the range cooperates. And,
Hello again, friends and loyal Wolfpack members. Chaos Wolf here, and welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program. Yes, that's right, we're going to be doing some more science today. And didn't you just love that new intro? Got to hand it to my graphics guy, he's gone and outdone himself yet again. Right, first of all, what we want to go and do today is going to work out what we're going to go and spend our remaining science on. Now, I've already given this a little bit of thought. What I'm thinking about doing is going and working our way up to a new command pod. Because what this is going to do is give us the ability to go and take not just a pilot with us, but also some scientists and maybe some engineers. Scientists more than anything else I'm thinking of right now. So we'll definitely go and research that one. Now, after that, what I'm thinking about going for is the landing, because we want some new landing legs. Because the ones we've got at the moment are just really small and don't have a very good tolerance on them. So that's going to be really nice to go and have as well. So we're going to go and research those. And I'm also going to go and research space exploration. Mainly for the ladders, but also for the rover wheels and the hitchhiker storage container, which, for all intents and purposes right now, we're not going to bother with too much, considering that we've got the new command module. But it's going to be very nice, potentially, when we go and start making space stations, or at least I think so. So let's go and research that. Now that's going to leave us with just shy of 25 science, but hopefully after our next mission or so, we're going to go and get some good science back. Now let's go and have a look at mission control. What we've got is a mission to go and test a decoupler. Now the problem is I've had a look at this mission, and this decoupler is way too large for what we're currently using. So this is not going to be feasible for us right now. We've got a couple of missions to go and rescue Kerbals from orbit, but I'm going to leave that for a little bit as well. Not too fussed with that one currently. And we've got Explore the Mun, but that's not going to get us much in the way of money or anything, so it's kind of trivial to go for that right now. I'm really looking for something for a 3-star mission that we can go and do, preferably something around Minmus. But again, this decoupler is just something that we're not going to be able to do too well. Maybe we'll be able to go and take this later, we'll go and see. In fact, how long have we got to go and complete this for? Duration 2 years, let's leave it for now. But there we go. So what I want to go and do is I'm thinking about going and sending a manned mission to Minmus, because last episode we went and did that to the moon. And we got to the moon, we landed, albeit a little bit more finicky than I would have liked, and we even got back, safe and sound, so that was great. What I'm thinking of doing now is doing the same thing, but to Minmus. Now, this is the second time I'm actually going around recording this, so I've already made the rocket, and what I know is that it's currently too big and too heavy for our launch pad. So we're going to have to go and upgrade that. So there we go. We've now got a launch pad fully upgraded. That is really nice. So that means we've got a vessel size unlimited and maximum weight unlimited. That is awesome. What I'd like to go and do next is go and upgrade the assembly building, which would be awesome. But we'll see what we can go and get next. Upgrading the tracking station would also be nice, and also upgrading R&D would be nice. But lots of things that I'd like to go and do, but we can't just yet. Now, taking a quick look in the administration building, you can see that we can actually go and hire a few more Kerbals. And what I'm thinking is we want to go and get another scientist, maybe. Because the one we got at the moment, Bob Kerman, he's got a low level of stupidity, so it's not too bad. Now, I'm not sure what stupidity actually brings to the table. We can go and get a couple more scientists, but I really just want one scientist right now. So that's what we're going to go and do. And we're actually going to go for Rokel Kerman. So there we go. We've got a new scientist on staff. Now what I want to go and do is I want to go and try and get Jebediah Kerman to level up this mission so we can actually get to 2 stars. That second star is going to be really nice because then we can go and start auto-tracking our nodes, so that's going to be really nice to have. Now we're also going to go and want to get Bob Kerman to level up, as well as potentially this guy here. But we'll go and see what's going to happen. So I'm going to want a scientist, maybe 2 up there. Not quite sure. We'll go and see how well this works. And here we go. We are in the vehicle assembly building, and you can see the ship that I have built for the occasion, the Hermes. Now, like I said, this was something I built while I thought I was recording. Turns out I'd forgotten to press the record button, which happens fairly often when I'm recording Kerbal. Because for some reason, Fraps doesn't like to have Kerbal minimized when it's recording. It goes and crashes. So I have to start my audio recording, start the game, or bring the game up, and then press the record button. But me being dyslexic and have a terrible memory, I often forget. So we've skipped out the part of actually making the ship. But what we've got is multi-stages, where we've got the big solid rocket boosters here to go and get the fuel into orbit. We've also got a big RCS tank, a lot of fuel, the big mainsail engine, because I just want to go and see how well that works, because we only researched that last episode, I believe. We've also got a lot of science inside the payload here, along with a lot of batteries, a bunch of solar panels, and we've also got the ability to go and store our science in this. And it's attached to the command module, so this is really nice to have as well. So this is going to be interesting to go and see how well this is going to work. In fact, I hope it's going to work fairly well, because I've even gone and added an extra heat shield just to go and make sure that we come back safe and sound. And we've also gone and gotten this little rocket attached to the top, which is supposed to go and drag the command module away from the ship if it goes and malfunctions. But what I'm thinking about trying is seeing if we can use it to go and slow ourselves down when we're coming in for re-entry. So this is going to be interesting. So then we can go and launch the actual parachutes. So we'll go and see how well this works. And if worse comes to worse, we may be able to use it to go and drag our ship retrograde if for some reason we end up going and pointing prograde, which we don't want to have happen. So we'll see what happens. But now, all we've got to go and do is launch and see if we can get ourselves to Minmus. Now, first things first, before we do anything else, I'm going to quick save, turn on the SAS, and throttle up to full. In fact, you know what? I'm actually going to quick save again straight after that. Just so I don't have to do that again. Now, this is going to be interesting. Now, we've got an engineer with us at the moment just because I want to go and see if we need them up in space. Now, I really hope that what we currently have is going to go and get us into orbit, because I am a little bit concerned considering that we've actually built sideways on these little engines here. I'm worried about what kind of stability issues that's going to give us. In fact, I've just realised something, so we're going to go and recover the vessel very quickly. And what I realised is the fact that we've only got RCS up the top. We don't have anything down the bottom. So this is not going to help with moving around for manoeuvres. So I'm just going to add one more RCS module down the bottom. I'd like to have it a little bit below the fins. So what I'm thinking is... There we go. Then what we can do is we can go and grab the fins, move those up a tad. And then go and move these down. So that might work. The only thing is they've gone and moved into the ship tiny amount. There we go. So that should work very nice to keep us stable. So we'll see how well this works. So again, we're going to save and launch. So here we go, all ready to go once again. I really hope that we have enough thrust here to get us up. Looking at it, it looks like we've got more than sufficient amounts, but you never know. So let's go and give it a go. We've now got the best of the launch pad, so I'm looking forward to trying this out as well. So let's go! It does look like we've got a good amount of thrust, but we're going to go and move over to our 5-degree heading, going up again. Now, we are very heavy, so I am concerned about any wobble that we may have. We also seem to be listing a little bit down, but I think we're going to be okay. Now, we are starting to push against the air, So we're not exactly being the most efficient that we could be. Looking at our apoapsis, we are at 25, so it's not the greatest. So let's point prograde here. Go and drop off those. And we're going to go and bring ourselves over to 45, well 90 degrees even. Actually no, 45 degrees even. Keep on standard stability assist, so that's going to go and help. Now, I normally would have liked to go and done that gravity turn a little bit earlier. And let's go and see. Apoapsis, we're going to go and cut this off as soon as we reach 100. Now, hopefully, we're going to have enough fuel to go and do this. Because we need to circularize on this fuel, and we also need to go and start getting ourselves over to Minmus. We should be good. And there we go. That is our orbit set. We're going to go and have to play with the orbit if we want to go and get to Minmus anyway. So let's go and turn on RCS and let's go and start facing towards our node. Now it says here that our burn is going to be 47 seconds. So we need to start burning at around about 23 seconds. Now, I really do hope that we have enough fuel for this, because this is going to be very, very interesting. If not, we may have to think about potentially putting more stages on this ship. But we're very close, so let's go and burn. Now, unfortunately, it is looking like we're not going to have enough fuel to go and circularize. So this is already putting a massive dampener on our plans. So let's go and stage. And go and fire off our next rockets to go and continue with this and see just how this is going to go and affect us. Because overall we're not losing as much fuel as I would worry we were. But still, this is fuel that we need to go use to get to Minmus and back again. But that is us circularized now. So we've only used about a quarter of our fuel. So potentially this might leave us with enough to get to Minmus and back. We do also have a lot of monopropellant, so that might be useful. Now, let's go and see. Is it going to be possible to get to Minmus? So let's set that as a target, and I suspect we're going to go and have to launch from this side. So let's go and add a maneuver, and go and see just how well this is going to work. Whoa! No, that is a moon encounter. That is not what we want. Well, we managed to get an encounter going this way, so this is going to be rather interesting. The periapsis, let's go and see, is going to be 529,000 meters. That's going to be interesting. We'll go and give it a go, because worst comes to worst, we can always go and try and get the guys back. We can always abort if need be. Now it says it's going to be a 1 minute 37 burn. I'm worried that we won't have the fuel for this. So we may have to go and change the way we built the craft. Now we're going to have to go and burn at about 48 seconds. So let's speed this up a tad, just so we can get a little bit closer to that. There we go. And 48, so let's go and burn. Now, like I said, I'm not convinced that we're going to have enough fuel to actually go and get us to Minmus. It's possible, but I seriously doubt it. Now, yeah, no, I really didn't think that was actually going to work. We've virtually got no fuel whatsoever. But we are now in an escape of Kerbal, so this is going to leave us in a bit of a dire situation. In fact, I don't know exactly what we're going to get after that. We've got a Kerbal escape. We've gone so fast out, we've actually gone and escaped Kerbal's velocity. So this is going to be rather interesting. And in fact, I actually think this is going to be a bit of a failure. So let's revert the flight and go and see if there's actually anything else we can add to this. Now we've gone and modified this a little bit more. We've gone and added a different thruster. We've actually gone and added the twin bore. Now hopefully this is going to be a little bit more efficient with the fuel, especially since this thing itself actually contains a good amount of it itself. We've also gone and added another 4 of these little extra boosters up here. Now these, the ones in between the ones with the RCS and the landing gear, are only designed to kind of maneuver us around in space between Kerbal, and Minmus. They're actually going to go and get jettisoned on the way there. So that should just hopefully help us get towards where we're going. Hopefully it's going to work this time. We're going to have to go and wait and see. This is adding a lot more to the weight of this ship, so I suspect we're going to have to go and use the twin bore engines in conjunction with the solid fuel boosters. So this is going to be interesting. So let's save again, and we will go and launch. Now, first thing I'm going to go and do is actually go and rename this vessel to the Hermes II. So that is nice. We've got this one going. So we've got the Hermes class, which is this particular class of ship, but this is the Hermes II. Now, hopefully, this is going to work quite well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go full bore with the twin bore engines, because we just want a little bit of extra oomph, and these things do give out a lot of thrust. So we're going to go and stick with this as is. First of all, let's go and quick save again, because I don't want to go and get screwed over. And go and quickly check our staging, because this looks like it's going to be quite nice. And then we've got that one to go, and then we've got those ones to fire, which are just the ones that are going to go and fire in space. Then they're going to get jettisoned off at the same time that the other ones start kicking in. So that's nice, and then those can go and get jettisoned off eventually, as well as the main body. So yeah, looks like we've got everything ready to go. So again, we're going to go and give this a go. So let's go and see if it works. Wow. That is some serious lack of thrust. So let's thrust all the way up to maximum. Although I've just realised that we're not actually firing the twin bore. That is something I forgot to go and do. So what we're going to go and do is we're going to go and activate that engine. So that's giving us a good little boost. So we're going to go and throttle that down a tad. And again, this is liking to list over to one side. Which is not strange considering how much drag we've got on this. So point retrograde, let's go and drop off those and go up to full bore on the twin bores. We're still a little bit over for this, so let's move ourselves over to our 45 degree. And just keep this added there. Again, we are using our fuel at an alarming rate. Let's go and see what our apoapsis is. Again, as soon as we get to around about 100, we're going to go and cut this. There we go. Let's actually go and throttle down a little bit to save ourselves some fuel. There we go. We're at 100. So again, we're going to go and add ourselves a node. Or a maneuver even. Now, this is going to swap very soon. There we go. What I like to go and do is, as I've said previously, is go and have the new apoapsis and periapsis be at the 90 degree points from our current one. So that basically means we're going to be roughly circularized. So 97 and 103 is good enough for close enough for government work. We've got a 49-second burn, but we do have a lot of weight behind this. So let's go and actually turn on the RCS now. Now we can go and start pointing towards where we want to go and look. And I've just realised that two of the RCS item things are not actually attached to the ship. Oh, that's funny. Not what I intended, but oh well. There we go, and it looks like we're going to have to go and burn in a few seconds. So there we go, full burn. I love how the jets just come out purple on the end here. I'm wondering if that's a specific thing about this type of engine. But it's giving us a enormous amount of thrust, and in fact we may have just enough fuel in here to go and circularize here. Let's go and add a little bit in with the monopropellant just to go and see, because we've got more than enough. What I really want to go and do is save these. There we go, we're out of fuel there. Oh yeah, I forgot because we're in stage view. So, right, okay. So let's go and stage and fire off these thrusters. So these are the disposable ones. And let's go and work looking towards our node again. And there we go, we are circularized. Now that wasn't as efficient as I'd have liked it to have been. We ended up using over half the fuel in the disposable rockets, but that's fine. that is going to help us going and getting to where we want to go. Now, our orbit is a little bit ski-whiff, but that's fine. So is the orbit of Minmus, really. So what we want to go and do is we want to go and target Minmus and set as target. So there we go. We've got a... And the periapsis there is not terrible, but let's see if we can bring that down just a tad. In fact, that's looking very, very nice. I think that is the best we're going to get it. Now with this, we're going to want to start burning from around about a little under 1 minute. So about 58 seconds, I believe we're going to go and want to start burning from. Now, I'm not completely convinced that this is going to work, but we'll have to go and see. Now, we have got a metric buttload of monopropellant, so I'm actually going to go and try using this to keep us on track. Hopefully this is going to work. I really do hope, but we'll have to go and see. Okay, we're just about to go and run out of fuel on these, so let's stage those. Oh, and again, I love seeing those kind of things go off. But again, we're going to have to burn for around about 40 seconds. And we're going to have to go and continue to go and point towards our node. Now, I really wish our pilot would actually go and level up so I wouldn't have to go make these adjustments manually. Now, we're going to go and want to go and see just how this is going to go, because we're going to have to go and cut this very, very quickly. Now, apparently we've got only 7 seconds left to go. So I'm going to throttle down just to make sure. There we go. That is almost perfect. So I'm not sure if we've still got the periapsis, but we'll see. We've almost got the encounter. We can go and fiddle with this when we get a little bit closer. There we go. After a little bit of very subtle changes to our course due to our monopropellant usage, that's worked quite nicely. Now, what I need to go and do is, as soon as we get out of the dark side of the planet, we actually need to go and start making sure that our... Actually, we're just going to go and stay pointing that way. What we need to do, though, is we need to roll so that our solar panels are facing the sun. Just to make sure that we constantly stay in electrical charge, because I don't want to lose any. Now, in fact, I'm going to go and turn RCS off for the moment, because we don't need it now, whilst we're on our way in. Now, what I am going to go and do is we're going to go and warp to about here. So that should give us enough time to go and slow down around Minmus. I suspect, potentially, we may even be able to go and do a lot of our manoeuvring with our RCS, because the gravity around Minmus is so light. So I suspect this is entirely a possibility. I'm just going to go and do a quick save right there, because I want to be able to change things if things go and mess up. So here we go. Now what we want is to go and have a node on our periapsis. So add maneuver. We want to slow down until we get into orbit. There we go. So that is looking good. Well, it's looking good enough. So let's just make this to a circularized-ish orbit. And that looks fairly good. Now this is going to be a 13-second burn, but I do wonder whether or not we might be able to actually go and do this with just monopropellant. So warping a little bit closer. There we go. We have about an hour until we want to go and hit our node. Now again, the orbit does look good enough. We're actually outside of the orbit of the JRS Telos 2. So let's actually go and warp here. That's going to give us 4 minutes. Again, I'm going to do another quick save. And again, this is looking like we're going to be pointing complete retrograde. Now, with the burn this short, I'm not actually going to go and do it with the RCS. I am actually going to go and do this, and it is actually going to be pure retrograde. But, you know what, actually, yep. No. Retrograde, sorry. I'm channeling my inner May there. What we want to go and do is we want to go and start burning it around about 7 seconds. So let's get ourselves a little bit closer. There we go. So... This feels a little bit longer than 7 seconds. And there we are. Very nice. Now I suspect we have more than enough fuel to get back still. So this is going to be interesting. So that's awesome. We can get rid of that node. We are now orbiting Minmus. Manned mission around Minmus. This is awesome. Now, question is, let's open the door here. And clipping issues aside, let's go and observe the materials bay. What is this going to give us? 62 science just for this. This is whilst high over Minmus. So let's go and keep this. We're also going to go and want the mystery goo. So observe that. This is 16 science to keep. Pressure data is only 9 science, but it's still science at the end of the day. And temperature is 6 science, so we'll keep that as well. Now, we want our scientist. Now, what I'm going to go and do is I'm actually going to go and quick save yet again. Because apparently there is potentially a bug where if we do go and EVA, we might end up with no control. So, yeah. That's not going to be fun. So, command module. We want to go and have a crew report. Yep, we'll keep that one. We could have transferred it, but we don't actually have the ability to. So, whatever. Minor oversight on my part. So we're going to EVA. We're going to go and do an EVA report. So that's 20 science. So let's keep that. Now this should allow us to go straight to the ladders. So that's awesome. So that should allow us to collect the data, remove it, and restore. Hopefully, take data. Can we take the data from here? No, we can't. We're going to have to go and jump over. I really should have put that under here. Minor oversight, but oh well. And collect data, recover, and restore. So that's epic. But we are going to have to go and let go. We're going to have to go and operate our RCS. So this is not terrible. I've actually, like I said, I've got the hang of this a little bit more now. So what that should allow us to do is take the data. There we go. And what that should allow us to do now is get ourselves back to the ladders so we can go and grab back on again. So grab, start climbing back up again, and we should, yep, store all the experiments in there. That is awesome. So we should also be able to take the data from this and go and store it here. There we go. So let's go and close this up again. And we're going to go and be able to go back and board our ship yet again. And because we still had the pilot on board, we were able to go and still have the RCS and everything still going. So that's epic. Now, what do we want to do? We want to go and land. Although we want to go and get ourselves down as low as we possibly can. So what I'm thinking is we got a lot of monopropellant. And look at that. No, sorry. No, what I want is to right click, because then we can go and get ourselves down to a very low orbit just using the monopropellant. So what I'm thinking is that should be good to have low orbit science. So that's going to be epic. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to go and warp to there. Still, we're going to point retrograde, which I didn't realise I wasn't doing before. And there we are. Look at that. Low science. At least there should be. So let's go and see. Let's open this up. And let's see. So observe the materials bay. And, well, near Minmus. That is epic. So that's 100 science just by itself, if we manage to get it home. The mystery goo. Let's go and view you. 27 if we manage to take it back. Well, we've already done these with a probe anyway, originally, which has got us all the science we got previously. So log the data, 14. So we're not getting the full whack of what this would be. So let's keep that as well. Again, we're going to go and do another crew report. 20 science, awesome. Get our scientist to go and do EVA. Get another EVA report. 32 science, that is. So that's awesome. So let's try, and there we go. So I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. So let's go and collect the data. Remove the data. And restore. Take data. That's awesome. And let's go and take the data from materials bay and restore. Now I'm going to go and grab the data from the thermometer while we're on the ground, I think. Save letting go again when we're at some funny angles and I can't quite control the camera as well as I would like. So let's go and take the data there and let's go and store all the experiments there. Alright, awesome sauce. So we're going to go and get back on board. Now we can go and close the doors. And what we're going to go and do is we're going to go back to the apoapsis. Stay pointing retrograde. Although I do realise that changes now every time we get out of the ship, regardless of what we're doing. But that's fine. It's not like it's a terrible thing. We'll stay pointing retrograde. And again, we're going to go and just use the RCS because we've still got loads of monopropellant left. And this is, we're going to go and make it so we can actually go and land. But in fact, well, we've got a very low orbit there. So let's actually go and warp to here. No, not add maneuver. Remove. And just warp there. Because I want to land on the light side. And if we keep going the way, if I was going to go the way I was thinking of doing there, we'd end up landing on the dark side. Now this is going to be interesting because we're going to be passing very, very close to the planet itself. Just look at how close we're actually skimming here. But we're getting away now, so there we go. So again, we'll go back in here and let's see if we can actually just slow ourselves down more than enough. In fact, you know what? We need to have that up, don't we? Fail to do that. And you know what? It might actually be better to just do this with the thrusters. So a tiny amount of thrust. A little bit of monopropellant as well. And as soon as we start getting to where we're going to start going and landing, then I can go and start just doing this with the monopropellant. As soon as this becomes the apoapsis, or close to, what I want to go and do is try and land up here. Right, now we've been caught by the gravity of Minmus. We are going down now, and we should land just beyond that ridge there. But what I'm thinking is we're going to go and want to do a quick slowdown burn just to keep us to a good speed. Now let's go and extend our landing struts. And let's have a look. Yes, we're going to land there, around about-ish. So we're going to wait until we're a little bit closer to the ground because we're not going too fast anyway. I suspect that even the monopropellant is enough to slow us down at this point. So that's great. Now the ground is coming up fairly quickly, and I suspect that this number here is a little bit deceptive. So let's go and start burning with our thrusters, getting ourselves down as low speed-wise as possible. Now, as soon as we start looking almost perfectly straight up, I'm going to go and turn this off of... There we go. There we go. Because we actually started going up again, and that's not what we want. Do want to get ourselves... There we go. We are pointing straight down, so let's go and keep the monopropellant going. Because like I said, we've got enough to keep us going down at a decent pace. if we start using the thrusters at the moment, we're going to start lifting off again, even if we use them to the minimum settings that we have. Look at this, even the monopropellant is enough to keep us coming down at a slow enough speed. Now I think, yep, oh. There we go, we are down. Look at that. So we can turn off SAS and we can turn off RCS. So look at that, we are now landed on Minmus. This is awesome. So, who wants to be the first one out? First of all though, I want to go and do my science. So let's open up here, let's go and observe the materials bay. What is this going to give us? 125 science, that is awesome. So that's that. Now I've got to remember we can't do the thermometer yet because I didn't get the science from when we were in low orbit. Observing the mystery goo, 50 science. Pressure data, it's going to be 60 science. So let's EVA our scientist. He's going to have the honour of being the first Kerbal down, maybe? We'll have to go and see. So let's go and collect the data. Remove and restore. Collect data. Remove and restore. Take data. We also want to do an EVA report. So that's 40 science all by itself. And let's go and store these here. And yeah, we need to go and get this. So let's go and jump. There we go. Wow, look at that. Look at how little the gravity there is. So we're on the surface of the moon. Not the moon even. This is Minmus. Even better. And what I like is the fact that we can even just go and rocket up with that. So let's go and take the data. Log temperature. Keep that. You plonker. So let's go and get back up again. So there we go. And we can go and take the data again. I love this. We can actually just go and float around. It's so cool. Whoops. wrong key press there. So let's get ourselves back up. Whoa. There we go. Grabbed on. And let's go and get that stored. Again, we'll let go. There we go. Down the ground. Let's turn the RCS off. This is awesome. So what do we need? We need a surface sample. 150 science. Awesome. The very surface, the surface seems to consist of tiny crystal-like grains. Very pretty, but probably not edible. Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. So that's awesome. We've got a surface sample. And let's go and plant the flag. The flag is now planted on Minmus. There we go. What do we want to have this say? First landing. This is the site of the first ever manned mission to Minmus, preserved for all future generations. So that is epic. So you know what? We're going to have to go and get the guys out, aren't we? We need to go and get everybody down for a selfie. So yeah, this is epic. We're now up on the surface of Minmus. Now what we need to go and do though is to go and get our guys back on the ship. So let's go and do that. So RCS engaged. I like this. This is awesome. Just look at how easy that was. And again, here we go. So another one on board. Now I do believe we've got all the science we need for this. So let's go and get our little guy back on. Now I'm not quite sure what else we can do out here right now. So let's board and we can go and close this up. Now that's awesome. We've managed to get to the surface of Minmus. The question is, can we go and get back? With the fuel that we've got, I suspect that it is more than possible. So we're going to have to go and see how well that's going to work. But we're going to have to wait until next episode for that, because we've been going for long enough as it is. Now, like the video if you've liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Neither of those good enough for you, that's what the comments are for. Let me know what you think of our progress and how we've gone and landed on Minmus. Do you think I did it the most efficient way I could, or do you think I've been mucking about too much? As always, let me know down in the comments. I'll do my level best to get back to as many of you as I can. Don't want to miss any videos in this series, go and smash that bell icon, you know you're not going to regret it. But I've been Commander Chaos Wolf from Sci-Fi Gaming. You guys, as always, have been epic. I will see you soon. And until next time, my fellow Kerbans, keep flying and stay shiny.